Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. We're so excited to have you again. Based on what has been happening in the Southeast, some key stakeholders have decided to filter out those who are behind some of the terrible happenings, some of the negative events going on in the Southeast, and they have unraveled those who are actually behind it. IPOB has been exempted, and the faces of those people are reflecting now. And you're going to see those who are actually engaging these people, and empowering them to be doing what they are doing. And you're going to see some of the suggestions that have been given, which is towards totally at least eradicating this, if not eradicating, at least reduce it to the barest minimum. We are going to be looking at it from different perspectives of the stakeholders. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, please do well to hit on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, is pointing accusing fingers at politicians over the resurgence of the activities of UGM and the festering insecurity in the Southeast. According to the CAN chairman, Abia State Apostle Emmanuel Ogomo, politicians who recruit hoodlums for some dirty jobs during electioneering period and fail to empower them afterwards should be held responsible for the worsening insecurity in the region. He said, contrary to allegations by security agencies that members of IPOB are behind the sad development, hoodlums recruited by politicians might be the real mask between the veil or behind the veil. The cleric said hoodlums had since hijacked the situation in the Southeast to unleash mayhem on innocent citizens. He blamed greedy politicians who arm and engage the services of hoodlums during electioneering period but failed to meaningfully empower them afterwards. Hence, most of them resort to criminality. According to him, the hoodlums, when they have no legitimate means of livelihood, resort to criminality and terrorism using the arms given to them by wicked politicians. I don't think IPOB is behind this barbarity. They are the bad boys politicians use for election. After using them, they fail to empower them, and that is why they go back into criminality. Politicians who recruit these hoodlums are to be held responsible for the mess in the Southeast. The CAN boss urged security agencies not to be narrow-minded in their efforts to unravel the real sources of the monsters, but to be open to all possibilities. An activist, Comrade Kindness Jonah, condemned the resurgence and continuous killing in the Southeast region, urging government at the center to adequately punish those captured in operations to serve as a deterrent to others. He blamed security agencies for not unmasking the UGM captured during operations for the public to know their identity. Comrade Jonas suggested that government should establish security operational bases in all the villages, squares in the Southeast to enable to enhance the fight against the insurgency. He alleged that UGM, that's unknown gunmen, are those hired by Nigerian government to cause trouble in the Southeast. It is a fact that Igbo fear killing and shedding of blood, so one can ask, how can an Igbo man that dreads bloodshed open fire and kill anybody on sight in the market square? How can? So to stop the evil activities of UGM in the Southeast, the onus is on the government at the center to adequately punish those insurgents captured in operation as a deterrent. Also, commensurate legal sentences should be meted to defaulters. UGM captured in operation should be unmasked for the public to see. Vigilantes as security operatives should work in tandem with the police and military operatives to fish out these incidents. A former commissioner of transport in Abia State, Ekele Nwahamu, in his contribution said that the Southeast governors have failed in their responsibilities to protect lives and properties and must think out of the box to end the incessant violence in the zone. Tr0uble lamented that the agitation for Biafra by IPOB has been hijacked by criminals who unleash violence on the people under the guise of agitation for Biafra and freedom for their detained leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He further stated that anybody, including Igbo elders and governors, are now afraid of speaking out and taking drastic measures to end the violence. In his word, he says, I think that the solution to stop this killing is to reorientate the minds of the youth to do meaningful things with their lives. The government should invest more to job creation and skill acquisition and address the marginalization of the Igbos. Lack of employment and the feeling of marginalization by the Igbos are the major problem behind youth violence. In Nigeria today, youths who have gone to school can't get jobs. Daily, more people are graduating without the government doing anything to provide jobs. Providing rice, wrapper, and handouts for people is not empowerment or employment. People are aggrieved with the state of affairs in Nigeria. Corruption has messed up everything. This is dangerous. We can't continue this way. The IPOB struggle has been hijacked by criminal elements. Something must be done urgently to address the situation. Those causing the problem and killing people are not the people who started the agitation. Criminals have hijacked the agitation. They exist an army of unemployed youths, those who have graduated with no jobs to engage them, and others who lack parental upbringing. Majority of such people are readily available for violence. This is the problem we have at hand. These people must be made to understand that violence will never give us Biafra. What the IPOB have done or is doing is adversely affecting the Igbos. The truth is that the Southeast governors are even afraid. What we are saying is that the way the IPOB is going about it is not proper. Many Igbo families have been killed or affected in one way or the other. The economy of the South is steadily on the decline. Our governors are even afraid, but they need to take drastic measures to end the situation. They must remember that they don't live up in isolation, and the boys can even come after them. Everybody is afraid because anybody could be attacked. But I am also of the opinion that you can't blame the governors for their perceived silence or cautiousness in the matter. What do we even want the governors to do? They are not in control of the police or the army. The federal government is in control of the security forces. When the security forces aren't doing much in tackling the situation, what do you expect the governors who are just titular heads to do? Most of our governors in the Southeast are not doing well, and the criminals have seized opportunity to torment the people. For a retired chief superintendent of police in Imo State, Tr0uble, dialogue still remains the best option to resolve the crisis in the region. Nwokolo described the situation in the region as a guerrilla kind of war which requires a carrot and stick approach, warning that nobody even wins completely such war. According to the retired police officer, since the federal government has claimed that IPOB and ESN are responsible for the attack, they should have either directly or through a misery engaged the leaders of the group in a dialogue with a view to making some concessions that will not jeopardize national security. He made reference to the issue of militancy in the Niger Delta, which former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua applied dialogue to settle by offering them amnesty. According to Nwokolo, he has expected President Muhammadu Buhari to apply such approach, including yielding to the proposed political solution in resolving the issue of the detained leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. He, however, appealed to those behind the violence in the Southeast to apply wisdom and stop the maze, maintaining that no wise person destroy his own. According to him, he said, I still believe that dialogue is the best option for the security issues in the Southeast. There is a kind of guerrilla war, and nobody ever win guerrilla war completely because you don't just know when they will strike next. Applying carrot and stick approach is still the best way to deal with guerrilla war, except when such approach failed, war does no one any good. It was a similar kind of issue in the Niger Delta some years ago. The late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua applied the best approach to deal with it, by offering them amnesty today. It is a settled issue, and remember, the amnesty came after the federal government had applied force to quell the militancy but did not succeed. I had expected President Muhammadu Buhari to apply such an approach in dealing with the issue in the southeast. Many have called for political solution in handling the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. This would have gone a long way in quelling the situation. I must appeal to those behind this violence to think twice. You don't destroy your own. No wise person will ever do that. We have lost much due to violence. This is the time to pause and think twice. That was what Nwaokolo had to say. Now, as nice as all of this will be, but it's important for us to first of all get the relevant authorities to know what they must do to stop this. Now, IPOB started the agitation. That's one of the things I noticed about criminals in Nigeria, or call them hoodlums, whatever name you're going to call them, those who are currently even bearing arms. The first thing they will do is taking advantage of any legitimate thing going on. In other words, they use their illegality to capitalize on any legal activity that is going on. We noticed that in October 2020, precisely when the issue of NSAS came up. At first, it was the aggrieved public that came out, to register their displeasure by protesting. It wasn't long. The hoodlums took over, and what they did, the proofs were there. When you see them entering into police station, killing police, and all of that, you see them destroying properties and doing all manner of things. That is their trade. That's their features, and that's what they do right now. Anytime they want to have an opportunity of getting the sympathy of the people, they look for any legal activity that is going on. For example, the issue of IPOB. IPOB had already declared that there's nothing like sit at home, but there are some group of people who, in the name of we want Nnamdi to be released, are going around carrying out their nefarious activities, influencing things. You see them on social media, talking garbage that, if you don't release our leader, we are going to do this. They are not really interested in the release of their leader. What they are mostly interested is to see how they can take advantage of people. Now, the government needs to come in here, and how do they come in? By using war. It won't help the situation. But to look at what are the earnest need of the youths in this part of the area, because immediately you start engaging these youths and providing all that they need, it will go an extra mile, even if it doesn't totally exterminate the activities of hoodlum, but it will reduce it to its barest minimum. That is what we need right now. I have a lot to say, but I just want to leave it there. What's your position on some of the things that these key individuals, key stakeholders have said about the activities of hoodlum in the